If you run a restaurant, you already know the social media struggle. You know you should be posting every day, but between running the kitchen, managing staff, and actually serving customers, who has time to sit down and write Instagram captions? Most restaurant owners I talk to spend 3 to 4 hours a week on social media. Some spend even more. And a lot of them just give up and post nothing, which is even worse. In this video, I'm going to show you how to build an entire week of social media content, captions, hashtags, stories, and a content calendar in about 20 minutes using ChatGPT. And I'm going to do it right in front of you so you can follow along step by step. Let's get into it. Before we start generating posts, we need to do something most people skip entirely. We need to tell ChatGPT who we are. Think about it. If you walked up to a stranger on the street and said, "Write me an Instagram post about salmon," you'd get something generic and forgettable. But if you told that person about your restaurant, your style, your customers, and how you like to talk, they'd write something that actually sounds like you. Same thing with ChatGPT. Watch what happens when I set up the context first. I'm telling it about our cuisine, our vibe, our target customer, and our brand voice. Good. It confirms it understands. Now let me show you why this matters. Here's what you get when you skip this step and just ask for a post with no context. See that? It's fine, but it's bland. It could be any restaurant anywhere. Now watch what happens when I ask the same question in the chat where I set up the context. Completely different. It sounds like a real restaurant with a real personality. That 2-minute setup at the beginning changes everything that comes after it. Now let's build the full week. I'm going to ask ChatGPT for 7 posts, 1 for each day, with a specific content type for each day so we get a good mix. I'm also asking for hashtags and suggested posting times, because if we're going to batch our content, we might as well get everything we need in one shot. Look at that. 7 posts, each with a different angle. Monday is a behind-the-scenes kitchen prep shot. Tuesday is a food feature. Wednesday asks a question to drive engagement. And notice the captions. They all sound like our restaurant because we set up that context earlier. This would take most restaurant owners 2 to 3 hours to write manually. We just did it in about 30 seconds. But here's where it gets really useful. Say your plans change. Maybe you've got a special event this week. Watch how easy it is to swap one out. Just like that, Thursday is now a wine dinner promo instead of a staff spotlight. Everything else stays the same. And if you're thinking, well, my restaurant is nothing like a farm-to-table place in Santa Barbara, fair enough. Watch what happens when I tell ChatGPT about a completely different restaurant. Totally different voice, totally different vibe, but the same process. This works for any restaurant. Now I've got a full week of posts, but I'm not done yet. This is the part where most people stop, and it's the part that separates good social media from great social media. I'm going to refine these. First, some of those captions are a little long. Instagram isn't the place for essays. Let's tighten them up. Better. Every caption is now punchy and scrollable. Next, the hashtags. Here's something most restaurant owners don't know. Using a hashtag with 50 million posts means your content gets buried in seconds. You want niche hashtags where you can actually show up in the feed. Now we've got hashtags that real people actually browse. Last thing. Every post should gently nudge the viewer to do something. Comment, book a table, tag a friend, save the post. But it can't feel like an ad. See how natural those feel? Tell us your favorite below is an engagement driver, but it reads like a conversation, not a sales pitch. This whole refinement took about 2 minutes, and the difference between the first draft and what we have now is the difference between social media that gets scrolled past and social media that actually builds your audience. Feed posts are great, but if you're not using stories and reels, you're only reaching a fraction of your potential audience. Stories show up at the top of people's feeds, and they're perfect for quick, casual, interactive content. The good news is, ChatGPT can plan these too. 5 story ideas, all interactive. Polls, questions, this or that. These are the formats that get people tapping and engaging, which tells Instagram's algorithm to show your restaurant to more people. Now Reels. This is where a lot of restaurant owners freeze up because they think they need professional video equipment and editing skills. You don't. Watch what I asked for here. I specifically said phone camera only, 1 person, under 30 seconds. Look at these concepts. A slow pan across tonight's specials with a trending audio. A quick behind the scenes of plating a dish. You can film any of these during a shift in 2 minutes. And here's a bonus move. Not all of your feed posts need to stay as static images. ChatGPT just identified which of our existing posts would work better as short videos and told us exactly how to adapt them. That's strategic content planning, not just content creation. We've got posts, stories, and Reels concepts. Now let's pull it all together into something you can actually work from. I'm asking ChatGPT to organize everything into a weekly content calendar. There it is. An entire week of social media content laid out in a calendar you can screenshot, print out, or paste into a spreadsheet. Every day has a post type, a caption, hashtags, a posting time, and a call to action. You could hand this to a staff member and say, "Post this every day," and they'd have everything they need. But I want to go one step further. Let's turn this into a reusable template. Now you've got a blank framework you can fill in each week. Same structure, same content mix, but with your new specials, events, and photos. And here's the real power move. I'm asking ChatGPT to write me one master prompt that I can paste in every single week to regenerate everything from scratch. Save that prompt somewhere. Every Monday morning, you paste it into ChatGPT, spend 5 minutes customizing the output, and your social media for the entire week is done. That's how you go from spending 4 hours a week on social media to spending 20 minutes. Let's recap what we just built. We started by setting up our restaurant's brand voice so ChatGPT actually sounds like us. Then we generated a full week of feed posts with captions, hashtags, and posting times. We refined them, tightened the captions, improved the hashtags, and added calls to action. We created story ideas and Reels concepts, and we organized everything into a weekly content calendar with a reusable template and a master prompt for next week. All of that in about 20 minutes. Compare that to the 3 or 4 hours most restaurant owners spend on social media every week, and you start to see why AI isn't just a nice-to-have anymore. It's a competitive advantage. Links to ChatGPT and everything I demoed are in the description below. If you missed my first video on 5 ChatGPT workflows that save restaurant owners 5 hours a week, I'll link that too. Subscribe if you want practical, no-hype AI tutorials for business owners. I'll see you in the next one.